Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric here at Moss Pawn & Gun, and today we have another torture test video for you. We're going to be shooting the SCCY CPX-2 a little bit, and we're going to be putting the pistol through a battery of very simple and real-world torture test scenarios. We're also going to submit the gun to some not-so-real scenarios just for fun and just for a good laugh, because, you know, we like to have fun on this channel. As you know, these pistols have an excellent warranty. They have one of the best warranties in the business. They're also priced, very fairly. So this is really the first time that we've taken a polymer frame, double action only, lock breech pistol out for any kind of torture testing. So I'm really curious to see what it's going to take to make this pistol stop running. So let's get started. This is going to be a really fun day on the range. Don't try this at home, guys, because some of this stuff's going to be a little dangerous. We're definitely not saying that any of you should try any of this, but we certainly will. Let's get started. All right, guys, well, the first thing in our torture test, of course, we couldn't do any kind of torture testing without putting the gun in some type of mud. Now, where would the gun end up in mud in a real-world scenario? Let's say that you're a hunter and you're carrying this as a dispatch pistol just in case you've shot a deer and you need to dispatch it when you get to it or whatever. Some hunters like to carry a handgun for the purposes of just self-protection while they're hunting or whatever the case may be. So you're walking down the trail, oops, the gun takes a splash in the mud. Well, any reasonable person, they're just going to pick the gun up, check the chamber, all right, barrel's clear. All right, let's see if it runs. All right. Not so bad. Let's get the mud maybe just a little bit worse. That was just happen to walk by, splash the gun in a little bit of water, not so much mud in it. That would have worked just fine. Know what I mean? Let's try something a little bit more severe. I figured that our mud exposure test would stop the gun. Doesn't look like it really had too much of a hassle. Looks like further into the mag there, we might have had one issue with the trigger not resetting, but when you start introducing mud into the situation, that really puts a damper on a lot of guns, no matter what they are. So what we're gonna do is, I've cleaned the gun a little bit, wiped it down a little. I'm gonna put it underwater, and we're gonna finish cleaning the gun out by shooting it underwater. Here we go. Works as a pretty good suppressor, doesn't it? All right, I think it's clean. Let's see how it fares being dropped off the top of a building. The things that I do for science for you guys, it's such a hard job. By the way, these are my little O-SWAT boots, original SWAT. They zip up on the side. Very, very comfortable boot, although a little soaked at the moment, but it was worth it. That was a fun shot, right? Let's move on. I think we're about to drop our little SCCY pistol off the roof. Let's see how well it does. All right, the next test that we're gonna do is we're gonna drop the gun from 24 feet. We're on the top of the roof here. This gun does have a firing pin block that prevents the gun from being discharged when it's dropped. Now, in factory testing, they've dropped it from about 10 feet. So this is kind of silly what we're about to do, but I'm curious to see what'll happen. All right, the gun is loaded. It is hot. And I guess I'm just gonna drop it. Just see how it goes. Here we go. Oh, the mag didn't pop out. That's pretty impressive. I figured at least the magazine would eject. Well, let's test fire the gun and see if it's gonna run. All right, well, let's see what happened to our little CPX-2 here. You know, to be honest with you, I was very surprised. I thought this gun was at least gonna throw the magazine out, but it didn't. We did get some damage to the slide, a little bit of deformation on the slide, but the gun did not discharge. There's still a round chambered. There's still a loaded mag in it. Let's see if it'll run all 10. I don't really see any issues here. Well, it's a little battered, but still works. I'll tell you what, since we're up here on the concrete, why don't we try something that might run it over a little bit more. All right, guys, one more time for good measure. All right, well, we got some kind of compromising damage here. We got a little piece of polymer or something sheared off there. It looks like the slide stop actually sheared its way into the frame a little bit. We got some custom stippling going on right here. A little bit of custom slide serrations has been cut in the front of it. Let's see if the magazine comes out. So the magazine looks like it's okay. It locks into place. Feels like the slide is gonna move just fine. I think our slide stop is no longer functional, but let's see if the gun is still functional. All right, let's see if the gun is still functional. Not only is it functional, but the slide stop is still operational. Let's see. Yeah, that's what we call custom fitting of the slide stop to make sure it's going to provide a nice custom fit for years of abuse. There's a couple other things I think we can do. This is the portion of our experiment where we're going to move on to some non-Newtonian fluids. This is going to be fun. All right, for our next battery of tests, we've kind of entered the realm of the highly unlikely / fantasy, but it's always fun, you know, because on this channel we like to have fun with everything we do. I've enlisted the help of a lady called Aunt Jemima. Syrup. So we're going to see how well the gun fares when it's subjected to being poured with syrup all over it. We'll see what happens. We've got a 5-gallon bucket of water in between each test of each fluid. We're going to wash the gun off so it's a fair test for each fluid. So first is syrup. The gun's chambered, it's hot. I'm not really worried about bore obstructions. I'm going to probably not pour it anywhere near the barrel. Anybody got some wet ones? Oh, all over my pants. Oh, if that doesn't stop it, I don't know what will. Oh, I need a wet wipe after that. We know we did the go with the syrup and I cleaned the gun up. Honestly, I just don't feel like there was enough syrup in that gun. So we're gonna try again. I wanna try the syrup thing again. I have a feeling it's gonna stop the gun if I get enough of it in there. I'm trying to stop the gun, mind you. Get some down in that trigger mechanism and down the hammer, let that soak in. The extractor groove, maybe on the guide rod, not down in the barrel. We don't want to create too bad of a barrel obstruction. Let's just really get this thing globbed really good. Look at that. I can't believe I'm doing this. Oh, I don't have to worry about not losing my grip on it. Ugh. All right, here we go. this was a bad idea. Let's move on. Well, we've cleaned all of the Aunt Jemima syrup off of our SCCY CPX-2 here, and I'm surprised. Even after 2 tries, I wasn't able to get the gun to stop. Now, I hope you guys realize that this is just the berry in me coming out. This is a little more lighthearted, but honestly, you know, I have experienced a moment of clarity with this video. This gun is a tough little gun, and it seems to be holding up just fine. We're gonna try one other thing here, and I was going through the store earlier, and I was thinking of all these random things that we could, you know, either cake the gun in or submerge the gun in that would cause it to stop. I could have swore that syrup would have really jammed up the process here. It didn't, but what we are going to do is we're going to use peanut butter, and we're gonna coat the whole inside of the gun with peanut butter. Why not? We're just doing this because we can. I mean, this is oil-based. Peanut butter does have oil in it. So what if you forget your gun grease and all you have is peanut butter? Let's see. We're gonna over-lube it. Why not? Cool, let's try that. Always got to make sure you lube your barrel too. All right. We're going to over lube it. Why not? Yeah, this is going to get nasty here. Oh yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, peanut butter as lubricant. And this is lubed like the Air Force people lube their guns. Slung all the peanut butter right off. You know what? I'm kind of impressed. I could have swore this thing was going to choke up by having peanut butter all in it. Let's get the gun cleaned up, and we'll try a few other things. I don't think we're done today. All right, well, I got most of the peanut butter off of this thing, but there's still just peanut butter in every little crack and crevice. I think we're going to enlist the help of some shampoo, see if we can help get it clean. So let's give it a try. You know, what I was going for when I was going around getting all the random fluids is I was going for just random bits of viscosity, different viscosity for each type of fluid. And this stuff, I mean, look at that. I mean, that's some nasty stuff. So let's go ahead and soak the gun down. Rub-a-dub. Smells good. Get it down in the trigger mechanism. I have a feeling this is not a bubble bath. Ah, it's getting all over me. It's all right. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is nasty. This is nasty. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Ghostbusters. You know, when they get slime all over them, it's exactly what that looks like. Look at that. Even when I take my hand away from it, look at that. Oh, here we go. Damn, I hope I can hold on to this. Hey, you hear this? Oh, all right, here we go. You know, I have a feeling that today has been surrounded by nothing more than bad ideas, one right after the other. I don't know how much further I want to go. This is not faring well for me. At least I'll smell good when I'm done. So, all right, so one more food-related thing. We've got some vegetable shortening. I mean, this stuff is nasty. It's got the consistency of like women's makeup or something. So I'm gonna take and dunk the gun in it, shoot it off the end of my hand. I'm not really concerned about bore obstructions. It'll be okay. You have to admit, that's a pretty good idea. That was awesome. All right, guys, well, I told you that we would shoot the sky before we ended up leaving, so we will. I don't know if the warranty people are gonna like me very much after that. All right, we got an Iraq Veteran 8888 style grip reduction, all right? You know, we got nice ergonomic grip that we've added into the profile of the gun here. I think it's gonna really help it run a lot better. So we're gonna shoot this in just a minute, but I'm not done. I've still gotta add a little bit of stippling to the slide just to get the perfect look that I want. So let's do that. All right, guys, well, you know, that concludes this torture test video on the SCCY CPX-2. We didn't really get into the CPX-1 very much. You know, really the only complaint on the CPX-1 versus the CPX-2 is how fragile the safety is. We know the safety will break. If you push it hard enough, it's going to break. I mean, it takes a lot of force for me to push this lever up. And see, even still, the detent is still in place. Even though I pushed it that hard, if I push it a little more, it's gonna break. But that detent is still in place and that safety still works. So, you know, a lot of people think that it's like a decocking mechanism and they'll pull down on the safety and they'll break the safety lever off. It looks like the slight, redesigning features they put into it really helps keep that lever from swinging down and breaking off. That's really about the only difference between the 1 and the 2. Now getting to the 2 here, all right, well my shot there didn't exactly land where I wanted it to. I shot a little low and I took a little bit more off the frame than I wanted to. I'm pretty sure the warranty department is gonna hate me when they see this. Now the first shot that we put through the frame, the gun would have functioned flawlessly because it didn't get anywhere near any of the components. But of course, we know that no one's just gonna shoot their gun like that. We were just kind of being funny a little bit. But anyway, I really am impressed at the amount of abuse that this pistol took today. I know that we've done torture testing in the past on various firearms. Some of this was a little lighthearted. Some of it was a little bit more real world in terms of what you're gonna come across. But I can say with all certainty that this is a very tough gun. It is very robust. And one thing that it teaches us about the firearms industry in general, not only SCCY, but other brands as well, is that firearms are grossly over-engineered for the least common denominator they're going to experience in everyday world. So really, I would say that would I trust my life to a gun like this? Of course I would. I know some people aren't big on the ergonomics, aren't big on the trigger, but that's just a preference thing. But all preferences aside, as a firearm, is it something that is likely going to be a good piece that's going to save your life for the money? You better damn well bet it is. So this thing has really held up well. I've been very surprised. I'm not going to lie, I really thought that this test was going to be a joke and that we just really weren't going to get the results we wanted to see. I would say out of all the tests, the one that probably caused the gun the most issues was the mud test. Now, very few guns are going to survive a mud test because all those mud and particulates, you've got water, and then that water makes all of those little particulates and all the random things flow into all the crevices of the firearm. Like a striker channel get filled up with mud or dirt, like it did in the high point video we did. On that particular video, the whole striker channel was just full of mud. The gun would not operate. This gun did fine. We didn't really get it caked in mud like crazy, but I would see that the mud test would probably be the one thing that would keep the gun from stopping, or from keep. You have to cut that. I'll tie it in. Ready? But out of all the things that we did today, I would say the mud test was probably the most conclusive. The mud test is really going to make a lot of guns choke up no matter what you do. However, every single thing we threw at this gun, it took it and kept on going. We have not bulged the barrel. We have no goose eggs or rings in the barrel of any kind. I've already checked it. We've subjected the gun to a ton of random things that nobody would put on their gun, and it kept on going. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed our torture test today. We have many more torture tests coming. There's actually some elements of today's torture test that we didn't get to do that we wanted to do, like shooting overpressure loads, barrel obstructions, all of those kind of things. There might have to be a part 2 to this video. We'll see what happens. But I'm gonna put this in a box and send it down to Florida and see what they say. I have a feeling they're probably going to be damning me when they open the box, but we'll see how good that warranty, I mean, they said no questions asked, so I don't know. We'll see. Thanks for watching today, guys. Have a good day. We hope you enjoyed our video. We'll catch you next time.